Mm.
It is. It is. It is. Um, what are the effects? The most notable effects of this workaholism when it comes to, let's say, physical, emotional, behavioral,
Yeah.
even social.
Well, I think we can almost say it together, right? Like physically, what are the effects of like you working nonstop? Like your body can't sustain. Eventually, you have some people don't have appetite.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have like really difficult gut, like digestive issues. A lot, like very common indeed. And then a constant chronic headache or just different type of pain. The body is screaming for them to stop, but they just can't, right? And then sleep, this is huge. Like they can't sleep. Imagine that you're so tired and then you still can't sleep. It's a very deep suffering. They just can't get their mind off. Like it's restless. It's like on edge and key out. So sleep is a huge issue. And physically, some people use substance to help. So it's indeed research has shown that workaholism and alcoholism or other type of substance abuse are in positive correlation. That means like they need to use those to help.
Which is a contradiction, because at the end of the day, alcohol is a depressant, and when you're tired and you drink alcohol, you sleep less, or let's say you sleep worse, I should say, and you wake up more tired. I'm saying this because I, for several reasons, I decided to give myself a break for 3 months and don't drink alcohol for 3 months. So I'm now today is almost one of the last days of the second month.
Wow.
And the thing is, I'm feeling amazing. So if workaholics found out that alcohol is actually doing the opposite to what they believe they're doing, they would never touch alcohol. It's totally counterproductive drug.
Yeah. Well, the physical effect, right, as we said, and then, well, definitely emotional effect. Like if we talk about the impact, right, you're almost like hyper vigilant. You're like thinking about like, am I perfect enough? Like the emotional stress. Like, have I made any mistakes? Have I done enough? Have I checked that? You're almost like extremely careful. So it really exhausts your mental energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's another effect. And stress has. Or once again, stress, and then you go back to the body. It is a cycle. The mind and body, like it's a cycle. It keeps reinforcing the negative loop, and then your relationship falls apart, right? If you're always working, and then what about your spouse, your kids? Like you start to feel like, oh, maybe you're losing some form of like involvement and engagement with them, and then you feel the distance. And you know what? When they feel the distance, they probably, let me just work then. It's not rewarding here at home. So the loop keeps continuing. So it's a very difficult situation. The effect is huge. And you know what? Actually, long-term consequence, if you keep working, eventually your productivity will be very low too. Like you can't sustain. So it's not even good for the productivity.
I totally agree. So the problem with work addiction, in my opinion, is that it is very blurred as an illness, as a condition, because it overlaps with many other things.
True.
How do we assess the risk for work addiction? So we have an experiment. Jessica sent me a work addiction risk test.
Yes.
And I think it's going to be fun if actually we do the test on me, because I put skin in the game. So Jessica,
I want to invite the audience listening to this podcast to probably do that with us. And okay, let me. Before we actually start the work addiction risk test, by the way, it's an official psychological inventory is used indeed in the clinical field to detect. So it's scientific, it's well evidence-based. So but before I even do that with you, I want to have like a disclaimer to everybody that it's not that, if I score higher, then now I'm a work addict, I have a disorder. Like it's not like that. Like as I said at the very beginning, you have to feel stressful. Like if you don't feel stressful about it, there's no distress in you, then it's not a disorder. It's not a problem. If you don't feel stressed, it's not a problem. And if there is no compulsion at all, you can stop. You can go to the gym. You can spend time with your daughter. There's no compulsion, then it's not a disorder.
Then it's okay.
Yeah. And then if it's actually not really affecting your other part of functioning, your family, your social functioning, then once again, it's not.